Hey guys, I'm Sarah. Welcome back to my channel. Today we're learning about the 3 different parts of your glutes, and I'll be giving you ideas on exercises that you could do to strengthen each part. You guys seem to like my 4 different core muscles video, so I figured I'd make another one like this. So let's learn about our glutes today. Many people hear the word glutes and they think of one muscle, but there's actually 3 different muscles that make up what we usually call the glutes. So you have the Gluteus Maximus, the Gluteus Medius, and the Gluteus Minimus. And all of the glute muscles are hip muscles, meaning that they work to move or stabilize your hip joint. Your hip joint is kind of similar to your shoulder joint because it's also a ball and socket joint. Ball and socket joints move in more directions than other joints in the body, right? So if you look at our elbow, it doesn't move in that many directions. It really moves up and down this way, right? You have some motion through your forearm where it turns, but it really doesn't move in that many directions, as opposed to your shoulder where you could lift it up forward, you could lift it to the side, you could reach backward, you could rotate your shoulder joint, right? There's so many different motions you could do through your shoulder, and so similar to the shoulder, the hip does move in a lot of different directions as well. To work the entire glute muscle group, which consists of 3 different parts, you'll need a variety of different movements, and we're going to cover that in more detail as we discuss each part of the glute muscle. So first up, we have the Gluteus Maximus or glute max, and this is probably the muscle that you think of when you think of the glutes. This is because it's the largest of the 3 glute muscles, and it's also the most superficial, so that means it's closest to your skin. The glute max covers the back part of your pelvis and your hip joint. The glute max moves your hip into what's called extension. So if you were standing and you brought one leg straight back, that is hip extension, and your glute max would activate to perform this motion. When you stand up from sitting in a chair, the hip also moves into extension, so your glute max again will activate. Some of the hamstring muscles, so the muscles in the back of your thigh, also activate with hip extension, so the hamstrings and the glute max often work together. But the glute max is responsible for more than just this motion. Along with some other hip muscles that we have, the glute max will help to externally rotate your hip. So if you were standing with your feet facing forward and then you moved your legs so your toes were pointing outward, this would be hip external rotation. To build strength in the glute max, you'll want to do exercises that include hip extension and exercises that include hip external rotation. So some exercises that are really great for building glute max strength would be squats. Deadlifts are also great for building strength here. And of course, you could add weights to make this more challenging. Standing hip extension can really help target the glute max, and also clamshells are great for the glute max because that gets you some of that external rotation. The next part of the glutes is called the Gluteus Medius, or more commonly called just the glute med. Part of the glute med is superficial, so closer to the skin, and part of it is also deep. So part of the glute med is actually covered by your glute max. The glute med is located closer to the outside of your hips. The glute med is a very important muscle, and it is one that should not be forgotten about. One of the main jobs of your glute med is to move your leg out to the side, which is called hip abduction. But the other major job of the glute med is to keep your pelvis stable when you stand on one leg and when you're walking around, which is why this muscle is so important. The front part of your glute med helps to internally rotate your thighs. So this would be turning your legs so that your toes point in. And then the back part of the glute med helps to externally rotate your thigh. So that would be turning your legs so that your toes are pointing out. Some really great strengthening exercises to target the glute med would be something like side steps. And you could do this with a band too to make this more challenging. Side planks are great too to target the glute med. A lot of times we think of side planks more as targeting our obliques and things, but it's also great for the glute med. Single leg deadlifts are also great because you are standing on one leg, so the glute med will have to activate to stabilize you here. And then you could also do something like side lying hip abduction to target this muscle. The last part of the glutes is the Gluteus Minimus, and we're going to call this glute min, and this is the smallest of the 3 different parts of the glutes. It's located right underneath your glute med. The primary function of the glute min is to stabilize your hips, and it also helps with hip abduction, so bringing your leg out to the side. The glute min also can help with hip internal rotation. So glute min exercises are going to be pretty similar to glute med exercises. So to work your glute min, exercises that require stability like your side planks, your single leg deadlifts, those are going to be great. And since the glute min also helps with hip abduction, things like side steps and side lying hip abduction are also going to be good for strengthening this muscle. Okay, so those are the 3 parts of your glutes. So little recap, we had the Gluteus Maximus, the Gluteus Medius, and the Gluteus Minimus, and each of the glute muscles are important. Learning and understanding your body is so important. This knowledge not only helps you to be more effective in workouts, it also allows you to become more in tune with what's going on with your body. It could really help you to connect with your body on a deeper level. So with these types of videos where I teach you about specific muscles or areas of the body, I hope to help you find more connection with your own body. I know learning about the glutes may seem small in the scheme of the entire human body, but it's still helping you start to really just learn more about your body and deepening your understanding of your anatomy. You don't need to have gone to medical school or physical therapy school to have an understanding of the body. So that's what I'm trying to teach you in these videos. My thought is that we're all living in a human body here on Earth, so we should all take some time to learn about it. I do have a free resource that would go along great with this video. It's a PDF that gives you different exercises that are really great for improving glute activation. So it's a really great way to make sure that your glute muscles are firing properly. I'll put a link to that in the description down below. Thank you guys for watching and supporting me on here. It means so much to me. If you do want to support me further, I do have a Patreon. It is more meditation and yoga based. So if you're into those things, check it out. And if you are interested in more content on like weight training, I also would be happy to at some point create a tier on my Patreon for that kind of content as well. But yeah, that's all from me for today. If you liked this video, please give it a thumbs up. And if you're not subscribed to my channel, please hit that subscribe button right below me, and I'll see you guys in my next video. Bye guys.